Hi, I'm Manny, and I am a massive sap. Not just in general, even though, yeah, in general, I am kind of a sap, but because a bunch of videos ago, I went on a fucking tirade going on about, oh, Path of Exile 2 did me dirty, like it cheated me out of a win, and like now I have to do this all over again. Screw that, I'm not playing this game again. And also, I have a problem with like the developers nerfing the fun out of the game because balance and blah 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 blah. But then, but then, the trailer and the reveal for patch 0.5 Return of the Ancients dropped. And since that moment, it's just been a spiral. I'm just straight up Uzumaki stuck in the spiral. I'm going round and round and screaming wee and waving my arms like a crazy person because I've been watching the interviews, I've been watching the reveals, I've been watching the speculations, I've been watching all the gameplay mechanic stuff. I've been watching people practicing their league starters. I am so back, and I know that the game couldn't care less about how I felt when it did me dirty. But I went back in and I giga juiced up my Acolyte of Chiula, and I'm gonna try the Ascension trial again because I have this whole new bleed thing going on. As a matter of fact, the next time I record a video, I might just do Path of Exile 2 gameplay showing off where I've gotten to with my monk, which is the first character I've gotten to endgame with, and I'm doing tier 2 or 3 maps. I don't know. I'm a slow guy. I'm not that good of a player, admittedly. But yeah, I'm enjoying the game. I'm back in, and now the patch notes dropped recently for 0.5, and I did crash out at how hard they nerfed Leech and Energy Shield. Like they went scorched earth on that shit. But thanks to a YouTuber whose username I cannot remember right now because I found him very recently, he made a video that, oh, they nerfed a bunch of stuff, but it's not that bad. And he's kind of saying, like, guys, it it doesn't, like, a lot of this is still usable. And I guess that's the conclusion I've arrived at regarding all these nerfs, is that if it's still usable in some way, like, yes, you might have to put a bit more effort into it, but as long as it's still usable to the average player, then quite frankly, I really wouldn't have a problem with the nerfs. And I'm gonna have to get some hands-on time with the actual patch in order to see if the nerf really was, like, if it ruins the game or whatever. So I am going to poke the bear. I am going to tempt fate and play Energy Shield Lich focused on fire spells, but using the Black Flame Covenant Keystone to convert all my fire damage and ignite chance into chaos damage. And then going to the chaos, all the chaos nodes, and pumping the hell out of chaos damage. This build is super dependent on Energy Shield being passable. So I am deliberately putting myself in the firing line to test if Energy Shield has truly been made worthless, worse, guttered, whatever the hell. Because if I can't make this build work, then it really does mean they fucked up Energy Shield. Because I'm going to take the Ascendancy nodes where as long as I have Energy Shield, my life cannot, like, be changed, and around 15% of damage goes through Energy Shield into my life, meaning I just won't take 15% of all damage. But I'll also have a node where my mana regenerates 6% of my life is regenerated as mana per second, and mana regeneration, I simply don't have mana regeneration. My mana regeneration is 6% of my total life value per second. And I'll also take the node where, as long as I have Energy Shield, or as long as I'm not on low mana, I get 35% added chaos damage, and then I'm going to put the the raging flaming spirits, like the flaming skulls that appear whenever you cast fire spells. I'm gonna put those on, and then I'm also going to have Herald of, oh man, what the hell was it? Herald of, I think, yeah, I'm gonna have Herald of Blood, and I think I'm gonna go for slight, like include a bit of bleeding on there. I think I might be getting some builds mixed up because I had Max Roll open and I had like 50 tabs. Well, not 50 tabs, but you know what I mean. And I was making like different builds with different classes and stuff to see what I was gonna run. I had like a tactician thing going, but I think I'm gonna go Energy Shield, Black Flame Covenant, Fire Lich, and test to see how bad they truly nerf Energy Shield. Okay, so I just pulled up Max Roll on my second monitor and I'm looking at the build. So I actually wasn't going to do anything with bleed on this build. I was going to have the Blasphemy skill gem, which gives me an aura that I can socket any one curse skill gem into it. And I'll just have that curse as an aura against enemies and then use Magnify Effect on it to make sure I can curse enemies who are anywhere near me. And the curse I was gonna pick is, I think it's called Despair, and it basically makes it so that your enemies are even weaker to chaos damage. So I'm lowering their chaos resistance, and I like, theoretically, I should be clapping cheeks. Like, it all depends on how hard they went on Energy Shield. By the way, I have completely failed to even mention this drawing I'm doing in the background since I kind of consider to be done with my last artwork, and I don't think the work I'm doing with my other previous works, that I'm kind of touching them up a bit and updating them and making them look a little bit nicer. Like, my idea of a quote unquote finished piece is that it could serviceably be a decent print. Like, that's kind of the quality I'm going for. But yeah, with this specifically, I'm doing a fan art of Cottontail VA, and it's gonna be kind of safe for work, even though technically speaking, she's only wearing panties. And I'm also gonna try this new shading technique where I'm going to duplicate some of the pencil shading and then use the smudge tool on it to create sort of a blurry shading, and then lower the opacity on it and maybe edit it with the lasso tool to have better gradation. So you have soft rendering and harsh scribbly rendering. So it's kind of best of both worlds. So that's what I'm kind of trying to do here, but for now I'm just gonna struggle with the proportions. Anyway, that's all the yapping I've got for this particular video. Thanks for listening, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.